So I've been off roading about, I don't know, last couple hours up here, National Forest area. One of the places where I first took the truck out, that first video when I talked about it. And last weekend I had taken the truck out, my Ram, up into a different area to kind of get a feel for not necessarily its capabilities, but its comfort off-road, what the differences may be between something like this that's pretty heavily modified for off-road specifically versus a factory 4x4 truck that is going to be pretty comfortable on road and be respectable off-road as well. So last weekend was a truck. This weekend I took out the Jeep. That was one thing. There was another thing with the tires, and I'll get to that in a second. I wanted to see, really do some comparisons about this. How far do you have to go to get to your adventure area? Or is it an adventure just getting there? And once you're there, how difficult is the terrain that you're going to be on? And that's kind of that would be a deciding factor, if you're looking for some sort of vehicle, where should you invest your money? Should you go for something specialty like this, or go for a very reliable, very comfortable driving in all conditions factory 4x4 truck? And it's pretty interesting. I've obviously been off-roading for a long time, and I know what a lot of the differences are, but kind of putting some of the modern stuff up against each other, there's some unique differences, and it's the trade-offs. Where are you willing to sacrifice? The comfort of the drive there, or the ability to do some more aggressive off-roading once you get there? Or, more of an overlanding thing where it's a milder version of an off-road vehicle, but it's very capable on and off-road. It's it's like the jack of all trades, master of none. That is like kind of the ultimate overlanding vehicle, because you want it to do everything good, but it's not going to probably do many things great. But that's enough for a great adventure. The wheels and tires have always been a bit of a thorn in my side since day one. You don't really know exactly what they're going to look like, how they're going to perform. You take the word of other people, but you have your own feelings about this kind of stuff. And since day one, I didn't like the way they looked. Now, that's still pretty important. Really, I couldn't complain at all about their performance, except on road. And the thing is, the way the wheels were and the tires is between the back spacing and the offset, it stuck them way out past the fender, so the tire would stick out really far. So if you look from the back, and I think I may have gotten some shots from the back, if you look from the back and just right down the side, you would see that the tires stick way out. Now, one, that allows them to throw mud and rocks all over the side and all over other people and stuff. Two, I hate the look of that. I call it the stink bug look. I really always hated that. I like them tucked in. I like the tires to be a little bit narrower and tall. I like them narrow and tall, not fatter, not shorter and fatter. Now, off-road, those wheels and tires, they were monsters. Beadlock wheels really gives you peace of mind about not rolling your tire off the bead. If you're one of those people that likes to lower your tire pressures, which I never did because I'm lazy, even though I do have an onboard compressor under the hood here to facilitate doing that and be able to put air back in to go back out on the highway to get home. So off-road, the tires were incredible. Nothing stopped them, whether it was slick rock, boulders, fire roads, pine needle hills, which are slippery, clay, snow. I've got a couple things I did in the snow you guys probably saw. But on-road, because the tires, the rims, the wheels had allowed the tires to be wider. It's almost like you let air pressure out and you get a wider surface area. Well, on road, and those real soft, gummy off-road tires, they were wearing out like crazy. I mean, I've got just under 11,000 miles on this thing, and I already had replaced 2 tires on it. Plus, it's very hard, extremely hard, or almost impossible to balance a beadlock wheel like that because they're really designed for off-road use only. So they weren't balanced, so that aided into the premature wear of the tire. And you know, you get that feeling, and in my mind I knew I was just doing damage to the tires. All of this together made me want to get different wheels and tires. Now, I was up in the air whether I should keep the really extreme off-road stuff and get an inexpensive set of wheels and an inexpensive set or an affordable set of tires, and maybe even drop down from 37s to 35s. Now I'm looking to balance my on-road capabilities, maybe even go to an all-terrain. What I was trying to do is set it up a little bit more where I could go farther distances in the Jeep. So, you know, obviously inside my mind, as usual, it's going, you know, 1,000 different directions. I don't know what to do, but I knew I wanted to do something. I didn't really want to keep the other tires. They would, once I stored them, I would have never used them again. So I ended up getting lucky, found another Jeep dude in town, and we traded. We traded wheels and tires. So I ended up with 37s still, the same exact 37 1250 17s. Yeah, 37 1250 R17s. But I've got a better offset, a better backspace. I have the proper backspace. There's a limit to the backspace you can change, and that's so you don't rub with 37-inch tires no matter what lift you have. But the offset basically tuck the wheels in farther. They still stick out a little bit, but they're much closer to the edges of my fender. And personally, I love the look of that a lot better. Most Jeeps are like this, not like the other one that I had, the other setup I had. But it was a good deal. I think it was a fair trade because these tires were only a couple months old, so they were much newer than my tires. My wheels were more expensive than these, but he had a cut in the spare, so got a brand new tire put on the spare, and it worked out good. And they works at the Jeep, the local Jeep, you know, suspension shop and all that, where I actually went and got my other tires before. So that worked out. They did all the labor for me for free, you know, changed them out. We even had to, I even addressed a situation in the back with my rear sway bar and did some adjustments for that, all free of charge. And he was super happy. I was super happy. He was running wheel spacers with this, which pushed his wheels out farther. So he was looking for that wider stance. And that's why, and he really wanted beadlocks. But if you go to buy beadlocks, they're very expensive when you go to purchase them the first time. I've had them for 5 years. I got my use out of them. Now that I live in Arizona for the past 3 years now, the off-roading is different that I'm doing now than when I first put the Jeep together. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to be doing Moab or things like that. And, you know, I had taken a trip right up to Canyonlands pretty quick after I got this thing set up, and it was really fun. So I came out, I just got these done yesterday. I came out to test them out and also kind of get a feel for comparison between the Jeep and the truck. And everything's good. I feel really good about my trade. No money out of pocket is always good. So I got the setup I wanted. Somebody else was happy with their setup and trade. So that worked out really good. I'm really happy. And they're doing well off-road. There's nothing that's going to stop these things. I don't think that even, we'll see when the snow comes, because it should be coming pretty soon. See, maybe I'll cut through it a little bit better because I won't be as wide and snow plowing as much. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I want to share that with you guys, that I was doing some comparisons between trucks and Jeeps. I think that you can have a blast in either one. So if you just have a 4x4 truck, or if you just have a Jeep or a Toyota, it doesn't matter what you have. Get out there and have some fun. And if you feel like pushing your limits, just know what your equipment is capable of and what you're capable of as a driver. But definitely get out and have some fun. You guys, thanks for watching.